This 6-year-old boy walks into a college student's classroom. Everyone looked at him with mocking eyes. How could a 6-year-old boy like him sit with them? But soon they had to respect this 6-year-old boy. Physics knowledge that teachers teach. This 6-year-old boy can hear and understand. College students like them all have to copy the boy's papers. A disruptive student throws a globe into the sky. The result of the accident happened. The globe fell on this genius boy's head. The boy immediately fell to the ground in a coma. The professor ran over with a desperate look on his face. The reason was because another genius teenager she had raised before had fallen from her horse. Since then he has lost his transcendent intelligence. Will this genius boy also suffer the same end? This boy's name is Fred. His mother gave him this name the day he was born. And the best thing is that from birth, I have a memory. This name has been well remembered by the boy in his heart. In elementary school, the other classmates are all reading elementary school textbooks, but Fred sat admiring Van Gogh's paintings. The teacher saw that the boy was not focused, so he called him to stand up and read the lesson. Fred just opened his mouth and wrote a very philosophical poem. During music class, other kids are still learning how to play the piano, but Fred started composing his own music. After school, normal children like to play, but Fred sat on the side drawing pictures on the ground. The school bell rang. The boy's painting was also completed. Only mother raised Fred. She soon realized her son's natural talent. But she doesn't want her son to be raised like a genius. But she hopes her son can have a happy and joyful childhood. Fred doesn't like music class. She will pick up her son from school soon. After going out, she asked her son why he didn't like the music class. Fred just said, "Those are all children's songs, Mom." Because of the absence of a father's love, she always uses teasing to make her son happy. Sitting on the bus, she will teach her son how to sway. When Fred sat reading advanced math by the window, she didn't forget to tease her son. "Mom, don't do that anymore." Not long after, Fred was discovered by a professor. She is a professor who specializes in fostering genius teenagers. After learning about Fred, the professor felt that all the genius teenagers she raised were not suitable for Fred. Right after that, the female professor came to Fred. She offered to invite him to join her genius training class. If the boy agrees, she can put him on TV. To make him famous all over the country. Everyone knows that being famous can be rich. 99% of parents are willing to give their children a good education. But to the professor's surprise, Fred's mother refused. She didn't want to give her son to a stranger. And she doesn't want her son to receive any form of nurturing. She absolutely does not let her son turn into a money-making tool. After that, she didn't say much, directly led her son out of here. After returning home, Fred stood by the window watching the other children play. But the boy couldn't join. Because of his super-intelligent intelligence, he also has an intellect that surpasses that of other children his age. The reason why Fred is isolated is because he's too smart. A 6-year-old boy like him also feels more lonely than ever. Fred's birthday is also coming. He sent you an invitation to his birthday party. But 1 second later, the classmates threw the invitation card. Fred is completely desperate. No one has come to wish him happy birthday. Frustrated, Fred entered the room. His mother now realizes that Fred has no way of getting along with other kids his age. In the end, his mother called the female professor and accepted. The 4 kids on stage all have super intelligence. The children are participating in the National Mathematical Olympiad. The examiner gave a super difficult math problem. As a result, the 4 kids on stage couldn't give an answer. Only Fred, who was sitting under the stage, suddenly smiled mysteriously. In the boy's head, the numbers kept moving. In just a few short seconds, the answer popped into his head.
24.
That is correct, David.
Well, that's right. I didn't say anything.
You said 24.
Well, no, I didn't. I mean, I would have, but...
During the break, Eddie grabs Fred and warned the boy not to answer on his own. At this point, the professor appeared and stopped Eddie. And then, 6-year-old Fred showed his talent. He was invited to the stage to compete in place of the boy Eddie had threatened him with. The examiner asks, "What is the square root of 3,796,416? Fred easily gave the answer 156. Whether it's a 4-digit multiplication or the square root of an 8-digit, Fred can give an answer within seconds. The whole hall cheered for him, except for the math prodigy Eddie. During the lunch break, there is a racecourse here. Eddie asks Fred to go with him into the woods. Fred naively agreed with him. He says he wants to go with Fred, but actually he has other plot. Then he slapped Fred hard on the butt. The horse immediately rushed forward. Eddie very quickly surpassed Fred, because he wanted to surpass him in this aspect. Results 1 second later, he suffered a tragic end. When he wakes up, Eddie seems to have lost his previous super-intelligent intelligence, becoming an ordinary boy. Because of this incident, Fred was sent home. But this time back home, Fred seems very different from before. Mom couldn't buy him a piano, so she drew a piano on the wall. But the mother's kindness did not satisfy Fred. But he just coldly said that his mother drew it wrong. Even when Fred communicates normally, there are many profound words. His mother doesn't understand these things. The love between mother and daughter is becoming more and more distant. Fred didn't tell his mother anything. But he only took the phone to call his classmates. His mother felt very sad. The professor came to the house again. At the same time, she expressed that she wanted to focus on fostering Fred this time. His mother subconsciously just wanted to refuse. But the professor expressed that she won the opportunity to enter a famous university for Fred. This opportunity is not easy to get. Fred's mother hesitated for a long time but still agreed. Not long after, Fred arrived at the university lecture hall. A 6-year-old boy has been admitted to university. He has superhuman intelligence, but still can't get along with everyone here. After school, he still reads books. College students all say he's a bookworm. The professor sets a strict study schedule for him. Ask him to drink brain water that is difficult to swallow. Here, Fred doesn't feel loved at all. The professor is strict and cold. Everything has to go according to plan. After school, at exactly 5 o'clock Fred had to go to the professor's house. Before dinner, there is a puzzle game. Day by day, Fred became more and more depressed. That day a globe fell from the sky and hit Fred on the head. The professor ran over and didn't take him to the hospital. She only cares if Fred's genius mind disappears. Fortunately, after waking up, everything is fine with Fred. That day on the way he met a boy with prosthetic legs. Fred was about to go over to talk but the other boy turned his head. Fred was surprised because the boy looked so much like him. Fred wakes up from his dream, but he can't sleep anymore. At home, every time he had a nightmare, his mother would come and lull him to sleep. And mother and son will play guessing the shadow of the objects on the wall. After that, Fred will gradually fall asleep. But now that his mother is no longer around, he can only find his professor. But because the professor was busy with work, he only asked him to drink some water or turn on the night light. Fred left disappointed. That night, he missed his mother so much. He called his mother, but there was another boy's voice on the other line. It turns out that his mother, in order to buy him a piano, worked as a nanny for a wealthy family. The next day he received a postcard from his mother. Inside is a photo of mom and other kids together. At this moment, it suddenly started to rain. Fred raised his head to drink rainwater. I want to taste the tears of heaven. Are they as salty as the tears in my heart? Not long after, Fred was on TV. Seeing him talk freely on TV, his mother was overjoyed. The host asked about Fred's mother. But he said his mother passed away. At this moment, his mother is heartbroken. She wants to see why her son said that. But at this moment, a cry for help came from outside. Being the son of a rich family, he fell in the swimming pool. She immediately jumped into the pool to save the boy. Fortunately, after being saved, the boy did not have any major problems. Fred doesn't want to be a celebrity anymore. He just wants to be a normal kid. He also doesn't want people to see him as a genius machine. He walked straight out of the studio without looking back. The professor gave chase but Fred was nowhere to be found. Fred went to the bus stop alone. By dusk he was already home. Seeing the empty house in front of him, Fred almost burst into tears. He walked over to the piano his mother drew, and quietly played the one on the wall. He broke his mother's voiceless phone. At this time, Fred knew that the person he wanted was his mother. Not long after that, his mother came back. He hugged his mother tightly and said that he missed her so much.
Listen, Fred, the day you were born, first minute I saw you, you know what I said? I said, this kid's special. This kid's gonna be different, and I'm not gonna blow it. I love you, Mom. I love you too, kiddo.
Mother is the greatest woman in the world. When you succeed, people will be by your side. But only mother is always by our side when we fall. A great mother will do everything for her children to have a happy life. If one day, you find out your child is a genius kid, so what will you do? I will send my son to the best school. I want my child to finish college before age 10. But will you bring happiness to your child? If you were a genius, would you want to live like that? Today's movie comes to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.